Gaming PCs are really expensive, but in this video I am going to be showing you the perfect laptop setup you can build around $700 and you can do it in your bed, literally. At today's video I am going to be browsing you towards my setup and show you the perfect budget setup I built for $700 to $900, so stay tuned. So here's the setup. As you can see, this is the HP Pavilion Gaming 15 I got in 2021 for around 85,000 rupees or around $1,000. But in India, all laptops and computer components are expensive, so yeah, don't be surprised. This thing has 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is DDR4 3200 megahertz, which is not ideal, but you can find better laptops with 16 gigabytes of RAM for like cheap. It has a GTX 1650 Ti mobile GPU, which is pretty decent, and a Ryzen 5 4600H. So yeah, it's a pretty decent laptop, and you can see it's getting around, okay, it's blurred out the focus. Yeah, it's getting around 200 fps in 720p. Performance settings all low, which is, but it's not ideal. But if you turn it up to 1080p and load in a normal game of Fortnite, you will get around 60 fps, which will be stable. And also, this thing has a 144 hertz refresh rate, and it's a full HD panel, so it is a good buy if you bought it 3 years ago. But if you want some better laptop for cheap, I can list it out for you guys, like the Asus tough laptops, the Acer laptops, and also the MSI, the cheaper ones, which comes with the RTX 3050, which is like 40 to 50% faster than this GTX 1650 Ti, and also 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is way better than 8 GB, obviously. So yeah, let's move on to the peripherals. So this is the Ant Esports mini keyboard, which is 1200K. I got this for $17 or 1500 rupees. Yes, you heard it right. It's very cheap. It's a mechanical keyboard with red switches, and it sounds pretty decent, like you can hear this. Of course the audio is not gonna be nice, but yeah, it's pretty well. It performs pretty good and doesn't have any stutters or anything while I'm playing. You can go for this keyboard. It has good RGB with many modes, like let me show you. Yes, see, it's pretty good keyboard, good buy. You can find it in Amazon or Blinkit you get it for cheap, and you get it delivered in 8 minutes, so it's a pretty good buy. So let's move on to the mouse. So this is again an Ant Esports mouse I got for $4, this or 300 rupees. It has two side buttons, normal click buttons, the scroll wheel, and the sensitivity. I think it's 3600 DPI. It's a pretty good mouse. It's a perfect budget mouse if you're stuck on a tight budget, so you should go for this. As you can see, it's a honeycomb design, and the RGB is beautiful here. And this is the mouse pad. It was a random cheap mouse pad I got in Amazon. As you can see, it is even stained here, but this was only $6 or 500 rupees. You can find this type mouse pads anywhere, even in Blinkit, so you better order something like this for your mouse. It's not gonna scan well, and your gameplay is gonna be pretty bad. So yeah, this is the perfect setup if you are planning to play on a bed like I am right now. In future I will get a good PC, trust me guys. At the March or April I will make this video happen. Oh shit, yeah. So you can see this is a good setup, but if you want a headset, you do not need a headset, trust me. But if you really do, I can show you this. Wait a second. So this again is an anti-sports headset I bought for like $20 again, or 1500 rupees. But this thing's almost 3 years old. As you can see, it's falling apart. The skin is falling apart, and it has RGB, which is okay, and has a cheap microphone. Of course, you can't expect much. You could go for these cheap headsets, or you could go for something like a Logitech, which will cost you like 3000 rupees or $50. So yeah, it's average buy if you ask me. But if you really want a pro setup, you need to spend around $800 for the perfect pro setup. You can get a good PC rather than a laptop. I recommend you to go for a PC than a laptop, but if you want a PC laptop, then this is the perfect choice of setup. You can find this anywhere between $700, this entire setup, to $900. So yeah, you should go for the parts I listed around here. And if you want more videos, I'll be making more setup videos, and I will also make a video where I'll show you how I got this consistent 60 fps in 1080p in a normal game. And thank you for watching, guys, and see you next video.